Okay guys, this is Lori Bulow channel, East Coast Alert. Well, I'll show you if this works. Let's see. East Coast Alert. Last minute military drill to disrupt radar entire month of September. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about this because her comments are disabled. She has almost 3,900 views and not a, well, I guess if you can't comment, you can't do a thumbs up or, yeah, you can, look at that. Huh, comments are disabled. Well, I don't know if this video sucks or not, but it started out pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and share it with you because, this is probably old news to everybody, but what do you expect from an old man? So, this is Lori Bulow, and her warning of radar being interrupted the entire month of September. So, here you go.
Well, September's here, and we certainly are off to a good start in the beginning of September with everything going on. And this information I have appears to be flooding the internet. And what's going on is the military gave the aviation board only a few hours notice on this, and I believe the aviation board, it says they're very unhappy because people do not have enough time to prepare. No one is sure really what is going on, and it does sound highly suspicious. And it says that the ADS, which is the Automatic Dependent Surveillance, and the TCAS, which is a Traffic Collision Avoidance System, will be disrupted during the whole month of September. And this is on the East Coast. The Southeast are saying, but then in another report I saw it said extended also up to New York, from New York all the way down to Miami. But in this report I have listed, it says Southeast, and it says covering the Southeast. The FAA is warning all pilots flying from Virginia to Florida and that whole area for the month of September that the ADS, which is the Automatic Dependent Surveillance system, and the Traffic Collision Avoidance System will be unreliable because of military activities. Now this sounds very critical to me. The NOTAM was posted less than 24 hours before it was to take effect on September 2nd and gives only vague descriptions of what might happen. And that NOTAM is to the it's to the pilots and all. It also covers some of the most heavily traveled air corridors in the country, and the announcement appears to have been a surprise to everyone who uses the routes outside of the military. And NBAA has voiced its concern to the FAA that these sort of significant impact tests needed much more notice to operators in the NAS, and the association said in a notice on the website. And the NOTAM says that the warning extends as far as 200 miles offshore. So that's 200 miles off the East Coast into the ocean, that far out, but doesn't say precisely how the equipment might be affected. And the NOTAM says that the TCAS, which is a Traffic Collision Avoidance System, might fail to establish tracks on nearby aircraft and may not see aircraft that would normally trigger a TCAS resolution. And that's an Automatic Dependent Surveillance. And it might fail to establish tracks on the nearby aircraft and may not see this aircraft. It also says the first indication of nearby traffic might be a resolution alert. False alerts are not expected to be generated by this military activity. So, in other words, it's going to be the real thing. And any alerts should be treated as real, so that they're telling the pilots this, that it's not just an exercise, but it will be the real thing. To make up when the TCAS may or may not be working, pilots are advised to maintain an increased visual awareness in the area. Excuse me. And if they think they almost hit something, to report that. So this is sounds very critical, friends. Nobody knows what to expect. The entire East Coast now is under this alert. And what do you suppose it could be? Well, I've heard much speculation on another military aircraft coming in that they're not going to be able to pick up on their radar. That's why they're asking the pilots to be on the lookout. Well, what a thing for the pilots to do, because here they are flying passenger vehicles, 300-400 people in their aircraft, and they have to be on the lookout for something like this. And if it's stealth, of course they do carry missiles that will knock out the radar, so that's why they're not able to pick it up, and that's why they're asking the pilots to be on the lookout. I'm not saying that's what it is, but that's what the majority of the people are speculating. That's what it sounds like. Certainly they would be able to pick up an asteroid or a meteorite on the radar, but with something like stealth they will not. So people need to prepare, and if this is a false flag or the real thing, who knows? But we have been warning, and September is here. If by now you have not begun to focus on preparing spiritually, spiritually as well as putting your food and water aside, you need to begin now, because we are at everything is starting to wind down, friends. And with this coming out is just an indication to what's to come. And Obama's not even here on the East Coast in D.C. He's up in Alaska, taking pictures of the mountains and renaming the mountains. And anyway, it is a highly critical time, so be prepared and stay focused on the Lord and pray. Thanks for listening, and there's information below.
And there you go. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Lori Bulow. She seems to be into the truth thing, so there you go. Thanks for watching.